This is another episode of Sheet Improvement. Welcome. Prior to this, another video I just made was we took a sales counter, created a countdown, and made it a whole lot cooler looking. Took a drab sheet and turned it into a fab sheet. Today we have David from the Land of Random, a wonderful newsletter literally about random things on the internet. He's building this job application tracker, and he's made it into a template. So this is actually available for anyone to use. If you are looking for a job, if you're trying to get a job and you're trying to track those jobs, you can go and get this from his newsletter. Go to thelandofrandom.substack.com and go and grab it. If you cannot find it, I should be putting a link somewhere in the comments description. This video will eventually go on YouTube, so hello YouTubers. But just to let you know, this is a Better Sheets video. It's made by me. I'm Andrew. I run Better Sheets, and people are paying for lifetime access right now. I don't know how long this will last, but you get access to over 100 videos where I teach you how to do better Google Sheets. Typically in these videos, there'll be 5 to 10, 20 minutes, and I'll go through one specific thing, one challenge, get you over that hump, get you through that challenge, get you through some roadblocks. I share with you my experience of working in Google Sheets all the time and how I've made it better, made myself faster, made myself wealthier by gaining experience in Google Sheets, and then being able to use that in real life situations where you might not think you could. I've built SaaS in Google Sheets. I've built my own trackers, CRM in Google Sheets, all kinds of stuff. And so just wanted to let you know all about that. We're not here to pitch you too much, because most of the people actually watching this are probably going to watch it as a member. Members get videos much more in advance than you're getting. All right, I have talked far too long. Let's work. Let's start getting into this. We're going to make this job application tracker so much better. We're going to add a couple of cool things to it. I have a list here to my right, but I'm going to go through that list with you. But first, let's just make a copy, and then I'll share this with David. Before you get access to it, I'll share it with him. Better Sheets version of, there we go. So what's really cool about David and the Land of Random is, like, I've discovered a few awesome things through there. I think I've found waves. I think I found like color pickers or color palette things. Like, it's every single week. It's really different stuff. So I'm really excited to help David here with this tracker. I think he's doing a wonderful job. I think he actually... I hope I don't get this wrong, but I think he is literally looking for a job right now. And so in sort of indie hacker mode and helping others, he wanted to go through this process himself of finding a job, tracking his jobs, and he wanted to help others by giving you the template to track your job as well if you're not so familiar with how to do this stuff. I'm jumping in and saying, like, let me help you so much more, spruce this up, make it better. We're going to make it look better. We're going to make it perform better. We're going to make it perform some really cool things. So first, let me make notes. I'm going to write some notes here. Okay, so what are we going to do? Well, first off, I noticed that he has some... Let's talk about it a little bit. He has a bunch of text up here. He has some instructions, like to delete this, and it gets in the way. It sort of adds a friction to using it. What I prefer is having some type of start here or Readme page, and then have some settings page if you want to change anything. Like here, he says link your cover letter here, and it doesn't really have instructions on what to do or why to do it. So we want to have a place where we can give instructions of, like, hey, what is this? Who made this? We want to make it in the what do you call it? In the style of the Land of Random. So we're going to go grab some images. We're going to go grab some colors. We're going to make a settings page because there is one thing that you, as like a user of this, will want to do for a cover letter. We're going to make it also really easy to make multiple cover letters, so you can do more with less. You can create one template of a cover letter and then duplicate it for each job that you're applying to. We're going to create a pipeline view, I think, because he has a couple of really cool things like yes, applied here, and no, not yet, and then application date, waiting for response, and all this other stuff. But I think we can combine all that into a status column, and obviously you can make this your own if you want to. I'll try to explain how you can extend it and change it once I'm done with it. And if we have time, we are going to also do some conditional formatting on the status, so you know, like, when should I follow up. So maybe you take this application date and add some things. So let me rewrite that down. Let's insert a few checkboxes. Not that many. Let's insert a few checkboxes and get through them. So first, I'm going to add a Readme. I'm going to add a Readme page. I'm going to add a settings page. Then we're going to, let's do the cover letter template first, and then we're gonna create it in Google Docs. Create in Google Docs. And then we're gonna create a copy. So I'm gonna sneeze. I'm gonna pause and sneeze and come. Okay, trying to save your ears there. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna create a template in Google Docs, and then I'm gonna I'm gonna do /copy at the end, and you'll see what that does. You can create basically 2 clicks. You'll be able to create a copy based on your own template. It'll be really cool. What else did I say? We'll create, and yeah, we'll do that first, and then we'll create a status column with dropdown. We'll, what else? We'll create a pipeline view from that, pipeline view. Maybe with some stats, add stats to pipeline if we have time. And then one more thing, if we get to it, if we have time to get to it, we will add conditional formatting to the application date. And this is important because we want to make this sheet active. I'm going to just delete a whole bunch of stuff. I love doing this, making these sheets much cleaner and easier by just deleting that. We're going to view grid lines. And one more thing, I do not like Arial. I do not like it at all. Let's change it to Console S. Let's make it bigger as well. Double it. There we go. That looks nice. All right, so that's what we're doing today. Let's see how long this is going to take. I hope this is only going to take an hour. This should be pretty simple. If you don't, if I don't explain too much of this, all of these things, at least that I can see here, I have gone over in like a specific detail, like 5 to 10 minute video showing you exactly how to do it. Actually, this pipeline one that I'm going to do, I've done that a couple times. It's a really awesome way to make a quick CRM. Like if you're doing a project and you have to outreach to say 50 people, and you want to know where they are and how that's going, and you don't want to be sorting things around, creating a pipeline, almost like a Trello board out of using a transpose function we'll use. It's going to be cool. But first, let's make a Readme page to give some instructions. We want to move all of this stuff up here into a Readme page. So let's do that. And if you have a lot of and you'll know your audience better, like if you're creating a template for a group of people, this might actually be start here or intro page. But for instance, if you have developers, Readme is like literally what they'll know. All right, I'm going to move this around so I can get to it. So what is the Readme page going to entail? Let's just copy paste this stuff, and then we'll move this all the way to the left. We will eventually move this to the left. Oh, that's frustrating. All right, we finally got that. Oh my God, that is... Okay, well, we might not be moving that anywhere. We'll copy paste this here. Let's make that bigger. Hi, David from... Let's move this up here. We can split this all up and make it a nice... Hi, dude. Make a copy, go to file, make a copy. So here, we're going to make a little bit of a change here. We're going to change this to a button, and it's going to say make a copy. We are going to delete most of these rows and columns because we don't need these. We don't need all this stuff. So we can do that. This is going to be a button, and what it's going to do is take this URL, and it's going to be a Command K to add a link, but at the end, instead of edit, we're going to write copy. We're going to apply that. We're going to Command U. I'm going to change the... Oh, we need to get colors. Let's get colors. So I have his website here, or actually this is a Substack, so go to thelandofrandom.substack.com to subscribe to his newsletter. Oh, here's his newsletter. Mushroom buildings, Rickroll in Zoom. Oh, that sounds awesome. 56 marketing tools, Google's missed opportunity, rollable smartphone. Wow. Yeah, totally random stuff. 24-hour meat vending machine. That sounds awesome. Okay, so this is the Land of Random. He has a little image here, and I cannot tell if you can see this, but yeah, I was looking for other stuff. So, oh yeah, he has his Twitter. So this is beige, so he doesn't actually have white background. I'm going to click on this image. I'm going to download this image, and we're going to use this. Let's call it Land. I think I actually have it already, the Land of Random Twitter. Okay, we're going to go get these colors. So what is it? I always have to Google this color picker online. There it is. You can literally just do color picker from image, Google that, and we're going to upload an image. Just going to grab... We can do this also with like Photoshop, I think, but let's just do it online here. Where is our image? There it is. Okay. We're going to wait a second for that to come in. Okay, we want this beige. We definitely want this beige. So let's grab that. Let's put it on our notes page. Okay. Put on our notes up here, beige. Oops, that's not how you spell beige. I don't know if that's how you spell beige. That's what we want. And then we want this black. So there's two blacks here. Sort of a grayish, and then a blacker black here. Actually, three blacks here. Let's see, what is this, a gray here? I like this gray. Ooh, yeah. That's going to be nice. Maybe this should be all the text. Black. Let's look some more. He has these green, yellow, red. But here's one thing. I did do a little bit of research before. So he has this image everywhere, right? On his Twitter, on his Instagram. So if you're on any of, oh my God, $800 sushi box. Vaporwave sounds. What is that? Wow. Oh my God, the Instagram is awesome. Right? So like he has this interesting font, and I don't know what font that is. I'm not going to spend some time right now on it, but he has this very dark black background here. Let's look at this. He has a nice like gradient here. This is his website, thelandofrandom.com, which I don't think he wants you to go to. He doesn't have that really linked anywhere. But check this out. He has this purple, he has this pink or purplish, and that's pretty funky. He's chosen that for some reason. So let's grab that as well. Let's see if this is the same as this. I'm just taking a screenshot of it, and I'm going to throw it into the color picker as well. I want to see if this is the same color. So he likes this black and pink, and I like black and pink a lot. I think it's a really cool. think it's a really cool color combination. It makes it look really fun. So this is pink. And then let's go grab the other pink and just see if it is the same color. Pink. Now I already forgot the color. Oh, it looks different. Let's see. We're going to use also a different black than dark black. So those are slightly different. Pink-ish. Okay, let me see what these all look like. Let's do this. We're gonna Consolus, bold. We're gonna make these a little bit bigger. We're gonna color them the color of the color. So this beige custom. What this does two things. One, we get to see all these colors right here, right now. But also, as we do this custom, it saves these custom ones. Oh, I need to change this to white. So then we have these very quickly available to us when we want to use them in different places. But this is going to be confusing because we're going to have these two pinks. Let me see how this looks. I like sort of these two against each other. Instead of that like really pink and really black, we'll have like a lesser, more purplish and a grayish, charcoalish. That might be pretty cool with this beige. Well, let's use this beige everywhere for now. We are going to do this just to get our eyes accustomed to it. I love beige because as we work in Google Sheets, if we are in here, like I've been in Google Sheets hours a day for years, and you start to have, if your eyes get accustomed to the whitest white and the blackest black, it's a very high contrast environment, and you end up getting used to that, and there's no like turning back. But if we use beige on our sheets, then it's less. If we use a beige background and a less black, like a 444, we use it's a much less contrast, and it's so much nicer on our eyes. Cool. So let's change this text as well. We want this charcoal text. See, like now we are rocking and a rolling. We're going to change this to that purplish. We're going to change let's use that gray. We would love one more color, but let's use this for now. Let's use white there. Okay. We are rocking and a rolling. We might want to change this button up a little bit, but we want to make this a big button, really different than everything else. We want this as, let's go text wrapping. Cool. We can also, what was the font we were using here? Oswald. Oswald's great. I like Oswald a lot. I like it for headers. It makes it, you can keep a lot of stuff. Let's use Oswald up here. Definitely. Where are you, Oswald? Come on, Oswald. There you are. Let's make it much bigger. Hi, David from the Land of Random here. Make a copy. Good luck with your job search. If you're interested, join. Let's put this right here. And we will move this one. I'm going to just like that. And we will undo the grid lines. Let's wrap this. Let's make it a little bit bigger. Actually, we want to make it a different text as well. Let's do, I always like Oswald and Comforta. Yeah, that looks nice. Let's make this, we're going to do something really fun right now. Right at this moment, we are going to use that other pink. I'm going to use this, and it's going to not take too much time out of our hands, but let's do resize, and we're going to do 20, and then we want these. I'm not telling you what we're doing just yet. but you're going to be surprised. We want this to be as 20 as well. Same. So we were trying, these two rows above and under, and next to them is going to be the same. We want this here, here, and here. And I bet you don't know why yet. I'm going to merge all this. You probably are thinking I am crazy right now for merging all this. But check this out. Watch what happens when I take this one, and this one, and I'm going to just change the highlight to that other pink. Wow. Now that looks like a drop shadow, doesn't that? So if you thought I was going crazy right there with some rows, this makes it look really cool. It looks like it's a drop shadow. I've done this a couple times. I made this recently, a recent video for Better Sheet members. If you're watching now, you can go check it out. I show you all kinds of ways, all kinds of drop shadows you can make in this way. We want to use a thick black. Look at that. Now that makes you want to click. Like, oh, that looks like I can click it, doesn't it? That looks awesome. It looks like a button. You can decrease this too if you want. You can just change all of these. Actually, we can't not do the rows and the columns at the same time. But if we change this to 10 and this to 10, let's resize that row. See, now that looks a little tinier, but it looks really cool. It looks like you compress it, depress it, right? It looks like, oh, it's up. It gives it a 3D look, right? All right, that was fun. Okay, we also want to like make, so you can make a copy. Like you're coming here making a copy, but like let's really show off his newsletter and put a cool image here. Actually, let me add one to the left because we want to put it right here. What do we want to do? We want to make this a square. So we need to resize the column. Is it 100? And then this resize row to 100. That might go down, so we might need to make this a little smaller. And let's insert an image. We have an image in cell. We're going to grab this, right? And it's gonna look cool because the background, yeah. So the background is the same color as the background of the image is the same color as the background of our sheet. So there is no square here. It really brings like a round image, like a round shape to your sheet. Oh, this is like a really cool trick. I like doing this a lot. All right, and we gotta make this really big because this is the whole point. Join my newsletter. Let's do one more up here. I want to make this a little thinner. Let's do 20. I don't know if this is going to work. So we have a link here, right? That is a link to his. But what I like to do, I like to use this. What color? Should we use that pink? Let's see what it looks like, right? Okay, it doesn't really stand out too much. What I might want to do, though, is make it not the same width as this one. So we could do that. We could spend some time on it. Not a huge deal, though, right now. Let's move this into the center. Give it a little more white space. I want to decrease this white space a little bit. Make it even. 20, 10, 10. Thought this was 20. No, this is like something else. So this is a cool README. Like, hey, David from the Land of Random here. Good luck with your job search. If you're interested, join my newsletter for fun links and marketing stuff. Really simple ad, but make a copy is the big thing here. And once people make a copy, they'll have this as well. So it's not a total loss if they skip going to the newsletter here. If you're building a some type of lead magnet or something where a template that they can copy, don't worry too much about trying to get them to go to that thing that you want them to go to. Just give them the value right away. They can make a copy. Make that really the main hierarchy thing here. Make a copy. We can actually, let's make this like super big. Make a copy. Oh, wow. Whoa. Make a copy. That is big, right? That is the biggest thing we see here. Cool. So when somebody clicks on this, by the way, let me show you copy link. Let's open it in a incognito tab. I think I need to do one more thing. Yeah, I need to log in. Okay, so I need to make my sheet available to everyone. That's gonna fix that. Actually, I can go over here to share. I'm gonna share it. Change to anyone with the link. Done. And now, when I click make a copy, I'm gonna copy that link. Now let's see what happens. Ah, no! I think it's, oh, you know why I have to, okay. I'm gonna just change my people. I'm gonna open a new, I know why. Because I'm not logged into any Google account. So when it's making a copy, it actually does have to log people in. There you go. Copy document, Better Sheets version, right there. Make a copy. So in 2 clicks, copy that link, go to that link, click this button, make a copy, and now people have a copy. This makes it super easy. As long as you're logged into a Google account, you can make a copy. You might not need to make that a thing there. But, okay, so we have a README. Okay, let's go back to our notes. We have a README page. Now we want a settings page. This is super important because, let me just duplicate this. This is super important because we want to know where things are that we might need. We're going to just delete everything in here and make it this beigey blue. Beigey blue? No, beigey background. We're going to change everything. Let's just use Conforta. I say it like a Spaniard. Just going to conform everything here. Conform everything here. I'm saying conform just because I said Conforta. Weirdly. Let's just make everything the same. Okay, cool. So what do we need on the settings page? These are our job. So right now, actually, we can delete this. We don't need to give just instructions on how to delete this thing because it's going to be done. So what we need to do is tell people where, we are going to need, what are we going to need? We're going to need someone to be able to change the, statuses. One, we're going to need someone to be able to enter their, cover letter. So let's put that on the settings page. Let's do this. Statuses, okay. And then enter your cover letter Google Doc URL. And what we want to do here, this is really cute. You can get cutesy with this. You don't have to. I'm going to actually do white background. I'm not going to get too cutesy. I'm going to make it sort of just that. That's it. So that's where we're going to enter we're going to merge this. But how we define this, so someone can copy and paste their URL here, D3. I'll show you this later when we do it. But we're always going to, even though this is all merged, we're just going to look at D3 here. Statuses. Okay, what are the statuses of jobs? We need to apply. Let's make this 10. What we knew. So that's the first step. We need to apply, applied. First interview, before that we need a setting, interview, set, first interview, done. And then you can add more things, right? I think, so we have waiting for response, interview, second interview, offer, accepted. Probably, by the time you get accepted, you're not going to need this, so you're probably not going to have to say accepted, but let's just put it on there just in case. Waiting for a response. So I don't particularly like having in action, but let's keep it. Let's just keep it because David is the one applying here. And that might mean something that I don't know, and everybody's job search is going to have a different layers to it. Whenever I do job searches, I usually try to try to contact multiple people in the company, try to make sure, that company is a company and culture that I want to work at, that I might know someone there. So even though it's not for me, it's not so straightforward of applying to an open job and then going through that process, because most open jobs we don't get, right? So we got to do as much as we can to get that job. And if you know more people and you can ingratiate yourself on that culture, and also you'll see if you want to apply and if you want to continue going towards that, you can see that. So I might want to go talk to a couple of people in that company and make sure that it's a company I want to work at. So it'd be a little less linear than this for me. For you, it might be something else. But let's say it's linear, because this is a pretty good, easy way to show you how to build a pipeline, how to do a drop-down menu for sales, for interviews, for anything. So we have our settings. We know we're going to put a URL here. So let's do this. Let's go to doc.new. Let's just create a new document, and I'm going to just show you how this works, because this is really fun. Actually, I already showed you. We're going to do the copy thing again. We're going to have this letter. So this is going to be called cover letter template. So I'm just going to name it first name, last name, right? Mr. First name, last name. He has his cover letter. And we don't need to write it, but you can write a nice basic letter template. And what we're going to do is for each job, you're going to copy it and then make some kind of changes to it. I'm not going to do that right now, but I just want to have this shared just in case. You don't need to give it to anyone with a link, but if you are saying building this for someone, then you might want to make this available for everyone. So we have this. Let's go back here. Let's fill it out here. Okay, and we want to take this edit off, and we want to add copy. There we go. So right there. Cool. So now what can we do? Well, first off, we can get rid of this entire first line, right? And now we have all of these. So we have job opportunity. Good job. Well, let's make it a little more in the vein of David's Land of Random, right? We want to keep that theme going through the entire thing. So let's do that. Let's actually do something strange here. Do that, and then that. Cool. That looks like fun, right? That's a little more on brand or off brand. Now we don't need any of this. We just need status, right? And this is just yes or no if it's applied, but we know once it's applied. We don't need any of this now because it's all going to go into that one status. One of my pet peeves is having a bunch of columns over on the right that you get all mixed up. So I'm just going to delete all that real quick. Just a couple of keystrokes. I'm never going to apply to 1,000. Every document always has 1,000 rows. I'm probably going to apply to, let's say, 21 jobs, let's say. So now this is really cool. So you have a job opportunity or company, right? Company. I don't know what good job means, but let's keep it just in case we want to keep it. Cover letter link. So to create it, we're going to do equals, go to settings, here. And now all you have to do, let's, don't like this, how it looks. Let's do this, maybe wrap it. That doesn't look too hot, but it doesn't really matter that too much. Basically, this gives us a link that then we click it and it's going to copy, right? Because we have that /copy. If we want to make a link, we make a copy. And then we'll bring the new one over here. So let me double check that is that. So we'll replace this with any copies that we make. And we want to have this. See, if you copy and paste this all the way down, it's going to change, but we want it to stay the same until we replace it, right? Okay, so let's use that. You know what? This is annoying me. Let's do this and then this way. And so we can see, oh, I don't think the copy's going to work. Wait 1 second. All right, so I figured it out. So why it wasn't copying is because the text of this link said copy, but the link was still the normal link. So now, if we go back to applied, now we go to this link, it will automatically bring us here and we'll make a copy. So we will make a new copy every single time. I'm going to close some of these. We'll make a copy every single time we want to create a new cover letter. We'll use this template, right? We'll rename things we need to rename. But I'm not going to go through that right now. But let's get you that copy. So now we know. And also, why I do this, why I made it, text wrapping is not, it's not wrapped, it's the end of here, is because if we had, this is a weird user thing, if I had this, even if I replaced this URL, it would still show the same. I'd have to hover over it to see if it's different. If I do it this way, I now see the end and I see this copy. When I replace this link with the right link for a KDA cover letter, then I can see that it won't have this copy here. It'll be a completely different URL here, and I'll know it's different. But now, look, all these we know immediately, without hovering, without doing anything, we know these are a copy and we can click and copy them. Cool? Okay, cool. Status, we need to change this from yes, yes, yes to, what we're going to do is data validation. We're going to do not a list of items, but a list from a range. We're going to go to our settings. I'm going to give it one more spot here so we can change this around. We're going to say save, go back to applied, copy. This is, actually going to just delete that so it's blank. And we now can say applied or to apply. There you go. We can delete all that. We'll keep that the way he wants it. So now we're ready, and what's interesting is this data, this is going to show up even if we don't have a company here. What if we only want it there if is blank A2? If there's something here, we want to be able to make a copy immediately. We don't if there's nothing there, right? So now we get that, clear that away from our eye space, our get around everything that's unnecessary. We've added our settings page. We've created in Google Docs our cover letter. We've created a copy. We created a status column. Okay, I didn't come back here. We did a lot there. Okay, let's create a pipeline view. All right, then let's do this. Let's duplicate this. I'm going to call it pipeline view. And then I'm just going to delete all of this. I'm actually going to, oops. All I want to do is copy and paste everything. So there's nothing there. I want to delete all of this. And I need all of these here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to copy this. I'm going to paste transposed. Whoops. Actually, I'm going to do this. Paste transposed. Oh, that's not right. Paste transposed. Oh no, I lost it. Go back to settings. Copy. And then paste transposed. There we go. Cool. Now I'm going to take all of this and paste values, and there we go. Now we have headers. I want this background. But what's going to happen is we want only company one. Let's do this. Let's see if this works. There we go. We got a few companies. We want these statuses. Like once we get through this, we're gonna be looking for only a few of these types of statuses. It's gonna be hard to find them. Maybe there's going to be a bunch of applied, right? And we want to see which ones do we need to really worry about. Where's the pipeline? Are we doing well? Like, where are they in that phase, that pipeline? I don't know how else to explain it. So what we're going to do, we're going to filter. I don't need that. We're going to filter. What are we going to filter? The companies. And we're going to filter by if they're this equals this. Okay? And one more thing. As we copy paste this across, we don't want any of these columns to move, so we're going to use that $sign, except we do want this A to move. So if we copy and paste, now all of these are applied, and we're going to get some NAs, right? So what happens with those NAs? We really don't want anything. So we're going to add in front of this if error, and then at the end a comma, end of parentheses. And so if there's an error, do nothing. And now we get this really quick pipeline to say, like, here's all of the here's all the companies. And so instead of going here and searching through this column can be anywhere you want it to be. It could be over here in the A column, actually. But we don't really need it to be very apparent if you just want to see the pipeline, right? What else do we need to do? So our pipeline's done. Let's add some stats to it, right? Before we add conditional formatting to the application date, I want to add stats to the pipeline. This is fun. So sometimes we want to see, how are we doing? So let's do this is equal to count all A3 to A, and it's divided by count all A3 to G. Cool, and we get a percentage. And we say, okay, that's 7% is in to apply. So as we copy and paste this, though, if you notice, this B to H moves. So we actually need to use that $sign to hold it, and we want it to change each way. So now we see where are our stats for each of these rows or columns. But what if we don't care about these stats? Like we only want to see the stats when we want to see them. One cool thing to do is we can insert one above here. Let me Command C, let's see, Command V. And we're going to actually change this to A4. And we want to change this to A4. Copy there. Why do we do this? This is a funny thing to do, right? Is to not freeze this row. Well, we have to think about the user here and say, you know, let's put it at the top because this might be the most important thing we look at. We want to see this. We don't want it at the bottom. We don't have to scroll through it. But if we don't want to see this number, and we really just want to look at each of these individual companies, we can scroll down one and it goes away. And it's outside of our purview. We're not really caring about it. Once we're looking at these companies, we don't care how many are there. We want to read this number. So this allows us, this is a really funky little way to optimize a sheet. You essentially think about what do you want to see and when do you want to see it. If we're searching through a sheet for individual items, we don't care about the meta number, right? That's just a funky thing to do. You might be able to use this in your sheets as you wish, but think about the user, think about what are you looking at and what do you care about in the moment that you're looking through it. At this moment, we care about the companies. If we're looking at the top, we care about the meta numbers. Okay. What's the last thing? We're almost done. We want to add conditional formatting to the application date. So this is funny. Sometimes we are going to have a date like April. What is this? Oh, so here we go. I'm going to take a break to sneeze. 1 second. All right, so we have these dates. It is July 15th right now. Let's say it's July 11th. And these are all, let's say we applied yesterday to all of these. Yep. Okay. But this one we applied, let's see, it's the 11th. And we don't want to go more than 2 days without like working on this. And maybe this is an application date. Maybe it's like the last day we did anything. You can add some. One of the videos I just made recently in the last couple weeks for members is to show how to do a timestamp over here. So that's really cool. You could do that. But let's just say maybe this is an application date. Maybe it's like we just want to see the ones. We want it to pop up whenever it's after like a couple days, right? We want to be reminded visually to go back and check those. Okay. So let's do conditional formatting. Conditional formatting. And dates are funny. Let me move my face over here for this. Let's see. We want it to be, blue. Let's do bright blue. That's really awful. Date is, are we going to have to do this? Maybe. Date is before today, yesterday. So we can do that. We can say done. Okay, so every 2 days, basically, this date has to be moved. If I change it to 13th, does it change? No, because on my computer, its date is 15th. So maybe 16th, and it'll change, right? So we're safe there. If it's 11th, it moves there. If you notice as well, we can do something like date is before in the past week. So that means after a week, it's going to go. Actually, let me do that. So maybe we want to wait a week before. Let's just do remove. Do like 7/1/2020. There we go. So this is probably better, is date is before in the past week, meaning if it's been a week, it's going to show up blue. Be like, hey, you got to do something. What we can also do is we will add another rule. I'm going to show you a little funky thing about conditional formatting. Date is before. I've done this before where I go, date is before in the past month. So really, like, if we have, after a week we want one color, after a month we want another color. Let's go red, right? So let's do that. And then let's do for 23, like that. And actually, let me go here. I want this 6/23/2020. Let's do 5/23/2020. So if you notice, there's something funky going on in it, and it's a really weird thing about conditional formatting that I don't necessarily like, but it happens. What it does is conditional formatting rules go in the order in which they literally appear here on the right. Okay, so that is why all of these are blue when they should be red. And look, you cannot move them around. It is really hard to move them around. So what you need to do is you have to be very careful about which order they go in here. So we're going to add one more rule, or we're going to delete those rules, and we're going to add the rules again. And we're going to do date is before a month, and we want it to be red. Done. Then we want to add another rule. Date is before in the past week. We want that to be blue for some reason. Done. And now this 5/3 is showing up. So let's say 6/2/2020. And now that's showing up. Right now we're cooking with fire because the date doesn't exist. Because now the date that is earlier than a month ago is red first, and then it checks if it's a week ago. So that is just a weird pitfall challenge you're going to have to overcome with conditional formatting. There's a couple of others, like if you have too much data on your sheet and you have like a ton of conditional formattings, which we want to do, your sheet's going to super slow down. I've seen it happen, especially when I was creating a CRM for like 8 people to use, and we were moving rows around, and basically when moving rows around, this conditional formatting follows them. So every time you moved a row, it created like 8 more conditional formatting, and every week I had to go in and clean this up. It was a pain. But conditional formatting has its challenges, but it's also very helpful because it can visually tell us what is going on in the sheet. Visuals are really good in Google Sheets if you can really make them apparent. They help you out. They give you information. We have gone a far way. Let's go back to our notes and check off the last thing. Okay, so let's see where we started. We started at the job application tracker from David at Land of Random. Here he had pretty much half of his viewport used up by this information at the top. We've changed it to a README here that has his image here, is in this style of his newsletter, has a big make me a copy, has a nice link to his newsletter. We have a settings page to get that information out of our viewport because we don't need it all the time. We just need to use it and then keep on going. Our applied has, what is this, like 80% is being used for these companies. That's awesome. It's in this nice, cool colors of pink and charcoal. We have added this cover letter link so that we can, in 2 clicks, create a copy of a template. We created a status column here where we can change this as we go through the pipeline of applying, of getting our interviews, of getting accepted or offered or waiting for responses. And if we're ever looking, one of the most often things we do is we'll sort by this status column and then have to go find it. But this pipeline view gives us almost like a Trello board style viewport here, or Kanban style. Like you can create your own Trello board here. Again, I have a video at Better Sheets. If you haven't tried it out already, go to bettersheets.co. Check it out. There's 4 free videos for you. I have a YouTube channel with tons of videos. Actually, this video is going to go on YouTube eventually. I have literally no idea what day. Hopefully, you are more able to do some cool sheets. We made this nice pipeline. We added these stats here, and we're hiding them when we're actually not using them. What else? Is that it? We've added a README. We've added the settings. We created a copy. We did a status column. We created a pipeline view. We added stats to the pipeline view. And we talked about conditional formatting. And I helped you through a pitfall. You had to do that in order. You have to do the conditional formatting in order that you want. Wow. That was a lot of stuff. Thanks for taking the time out of your day. Hopefully you can do Google Sheets better. You're not just using Google Sheets, you're making better sheets. I'm Andrew Camphy. I'm hosting videos all the time. There's like 100 videos waiting for you to learn at bettersheets.co. Make sure you subscribe to David's The Land of Random substack.com. It's wonderful. I'm a subscriber. It's a fantastic newsletter. And if you're looking for a job, feel free to go make a copy of this Google Sheet, and hopefully David's using it. Maybe he even made some more improvements from this. Go and check it out. Go check out thelandofrandom.substack.com. Thanks so much for watching. Have a great day. Bye.